が空に張り付いてら銀紙の星が揺れてら誰もがポケットの中に
You know, we're doing a seasonal roundup, something which I hope will become a tradition going forward, even though it's impacting our anime watching schedule for the Roulette side of our podcast. But I'm going to be honest. This season is full of heavy hitters. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you are all aware that this season is full of heavy hitters. Hitters? But think about it. You have Kaguya-sama, Season 3. Absolutely gut-bustingly hilarious. You have The Titan, Spy X Family, which is ruining Mal's charts. It's truly incredible. You have one series which we're going to talk about today, which has, in my opinion, the best writing I've seen since Steins Gate. It's all incredible. So what is the best show? Ladies and gentlemen, it's none of these things, because this season we have, checks to see if it's past 30 seconds, yep, I can swear, motherfucking golf waifus. Holy shit. This season wins. Forget all of those other shows. Golf waifus. Anyway, welcome to Anime Roulette, God. Special episode, seasonal anime roundup. Because we've been goofing off on the podcast recently because we're a few episodes ahead, and we decided, fuck it, why not? Let's watch all the seasonals that are coming out this season, and boy howdy, this season is stacked.
Yeah, when I saw this season coming up, I was kind of amused by just like the weird weighting of heavy hitters. And like, let's be real, this season tends to be pretty heavy hitting every year. But this year, oh boy. And the interesting thing is that, like, there's the expected ones, right? Like, we knew Spy X Family was going to be a heavy hitter. We called it here, right?
Yeah.
We literally called it.
On this podcast, we called it, yeah.
We called it and, like, pointed out that was exactly what was going to happen. And lo and behold, it fucking happened. Always right. But...
Oh, by the way, I'm Pac-Man and this is Ivy, just so everyone's aware. Although, if you're watching this, like, I'm Pac-Man, my mentally deranged friend is Ivy. He's here.
That's right.
He's slowly losing his mind. He is a manga reader, I'm an anime only. And we meet together in the middle to argue incessantly, which is the entire conceit.
In other words, we are the centrism.
We are
weepery.
We are the Hegelian dialectic of anime podcast.
Oh god, don't get me started
Thesis, antithesis, synthesis. Right here.
The Hegelian dialect in action, folks. The Hegelian dialect. Something Satanism. I don't know.
Look, I doubt we're talking to anime fans. I'm sorry, guys, but I doubt there's many philosophy majors among you. Anyway, you're not down the rabbit hole like us history douchebags. So.
My rotted brain.
I took a philosophy unit. Did you?
I've taken too many philosophy units.
Anyway,
philosophy and
anime.
Critical thoughts.
Anime. Too depressing to talk about our university careers. Anime. Let's do that, shall we?
And fuck, what we said completely knocked me off my train of thought.
We're here to talk about anime.
We're here to talk about anime, and for once we're talking very generally about anime rather than like doing our usual goofiness where we laugh and mock and, well, we'll still be doing a lot of that, but because we have watched. So I've got a list here of things that I've watched. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I've watched 12 anime this season. Think
about it, right? Like, normally usually we only pick 1 or 2 good things that we're excited for a season. Like Spy X. I was originally going in for Kaguya and for Spy X Family, and that was it. I wasn't planning on watching anything else, but holy shit, this season.
I had to fight for my life to get Pac-Man to watch some of the shows that I wanted him to watch. But every single one has had positive outcomes, I would say.
Yeah, actually, like, I have, for the first time in a long time, because despite some of the big hitters, with the exception, of course, of Attack on Titan, because we were all there for that shit show. Even us manga readers, because I've read the manga for Attack on Titan. I know how it ends, and I'm one of the few people who likes the ending. But anyway, off topic. Point is, I don't
And
generally
thus
watch
begins the third Titan War between Pac and Fee, as they once again argue over the ending of Attack on Titan.
Look, that's an entire episode in and of itself. No, honestly, looking at this season, I wasn't expecting to be this stacked. Right? Because, like, what did we have last season? Because last season was winter, right? Winter 2022, right? That was
yeah. This is spring. Yeah.
This is spring. So last season was winter. So you had Demon Slayer, Dress Up Darling. You had Attack on Titan. You had, like, those were the big three. And those are the three that I watched. And I'm looking through last season, and I'm scrolling through them, right? And I don't see any others that I watched. I think there was this really fun cop slice of life thing where it was like a police officer on the beach. He was just out there doing a thing, and it was really kind of wholesome, which is odd for a cop show.
Season. No, you watched Adi Hirata, right?
Yeah, I watched Adi Fuerte, yeah. Oh, and 86. 86. Yeah. I watched 86. But that was a continuation.
Oh man, yeah, last season.
We also watched Blade Runner Black Lotus, which was a seasonal technically last season.
Yeah, weird.
I also watched the Netflix anime about Roman bathhouses.
Oh, yeah, the one that you've been trying to get me to watch.
I mean, it's not like essential viewing. I just got curious about it, and I thought it was a really, really funny. What I think I really liked about that particular one is for the same reason I love, just historical anime in general. Especially this one, though, because with the Roman bathhouse one, it kind of went the route where you would watch an episode and it would talk about Japanese bathing practices in public baths and then Roman ones and how they compared. And then at the end of every episode, the author would actually go and check out the hot spring that was represented in the anime and talk to the staff there. Like, it was a live action documentary after each episode explaining what happened. And I thought that was really cool. But anyway, getting off topic. Point is, besides the three big heavy hitters, there was like nothing last season. There was absolutely nothing. Like, Lee Dale, where it's
there was Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, Takagi 3, which was pretty good.
Dress Up Darling.
So, the sleeper for that season was Sasaki to Miyano, and I know that a lot of people struggle with like Boys Love, but that was a banger of a romance series. It's a great adaptation of a pretty good Boys Love series to start off with.
So there was one which is kind of like Miru Tights 2, questionable girl choice edition, which is Akebi-chan no Sailor Fuku.
Yes.
Which is about young girls who really like their sailor uniforms. There was a couple of really forgettable magic.
I believe someone called that. I remember someone saying to me that was lolicon bait.
It was lolicon bait, and I didn't watch it. Princess Connect Redive, which is
what we're saying is, otherwise we'll get too deep into reviewing the previous season. Winter 2022, like most winters, is pretty light on like good content. There was a few good series, but the overall field was pretty thin.
For our audience, thanks to my regular programming, there was the Girls Frontline anime, which bombed so hard.
Oh man,
that was such a
what was
shit
it?
show.
Our friend tried to watch it and dropped it. He didn't finish the first episode.
Yeah, and our friend Will is like a massive Girls Frontline simp. Like, his nickname on Discord for the longest time was Soppo after Sopmod M4 from Girls Frontline, right? And just watching the light leave his eyes when that first episode aired was hard. It was hard to watch as his friend. Like, Will, if you ever watch this, because I know you don't, I'm sorry. It was really, really hard. But other than that, yeah, Attack on Titan slapped, and Dress Up Darling slapped, and Demon Slayer, which I haven't watched the latest bit of Demon Slayer, but I will do shortly to rectify that. They all slapped. We expected them to. But other than that, it was pretty crap. Sono Bisque. Sono Bisque was the savior of that season it's why Marin was Girl of the Year for that period, because quite frankly there was no competition. But this season, though, there is waifu wars this season. It is intense.
It's ship combat, baby. Okay. Well, let's start off with the series on everybody's mind. The series that everyone will not shut up about. Spy X Family.
Yeah. And I can see why no one shuts up about it, honestly. It is...
The thing I think that's really cool about Spy X Family is that it has reinvigorated casual fans.
Yeah, I think so. The casual fans are back, and it's really good. I like that.
And I'm always for anything that does bring in casual fans, because otherwise, how can somebody eventually replace me as a manga elitist? If there's no new blood, then there's no... Yeah. Like, we need series like this. You know, this is what I was about to say One Piece, and I was like, that's not how One Piece works. No, One Punch Man was, like, back in the day, right? One Punch Man brought all these new people into the fold, because it showed them that, like, anime isn't just weird shit. It can be funny, right?
Yeah, and I think it's like, because when you had the big... I mean, it's doing a similar thing for the funny family entertainment side of things that Attack on Titan did. Because Attack on Titan, when it first came out, brought in all of the, like, really hardcore, edgy Game of Thrones fans. Because it was, like, really hardcore, edgy, dark shit, which was all over HBO at the time, like with Game of Thrones and The Walking Dead and all of that sort of thing. So, you know, and of course, the edgy, sexually repressed nerds that came around in 2010 with Sword Art Online. So, you know, it's... So, like, Spy X Family, you're right, is kind of like the latest in a long line of, like, casting the net for what people want. Because Spy X Family, if it's done nothing else, it's hit the zeitgeist. We live as the events in the country that my channel has been doing nothing but cover for the past 2 months now, have demonstrated anything. It's that the fact we are in a new Cold War, or at least a continuation of the old one that never left, but we're in the Cold War. East and West are getting ready to fight. Our politics are crashing apart, and there are actors on both sides. And yet, here we are, two people from those two sides of the world coming together and forming a family and adopting a young kid who's just trying to survive. You know, like, if there was, like, an anime that was going to capture the zeitgeist, it's this one. Like, a family brought together. The world is crashing down on us and our lives right now, and the world is crashing down on them, and yet somehow they find a family and enjoy life.
Also, can we just say, always, as always, found family fucking slaps as a fucking writing device. Found fucking family. The fact that there is still people out there who are like, nah man, like, you can't be biological. No, bro, I will fight for the found family trope. There are families that are, like, born, and there are families that are made. And I love that here. And that's what makes this Spy X Family hit so harder. There is no logical reason these three people should be together. Right?
No, there isn't.
It is a telepath who is the result of an experiment. There is an assassin who kills people for a private organization. And a government spy. By no means should any of these cross paths unless the spy is sent to fight the assassin for some reason. Or vice versa, more likely. But, like, at the end of the day, that's it, isn't it? Like, and that's what makes it so good, is seeing these people from radically different backgrounds cross paths. And it gets better later on when the fourth member of the family is introduced.
Yeah. Spoilers. Long story short, though, like, Spy X Family feels like, to me anyway, with all of the themes about East and West and about people just trying to make it in a world going to hell, and all of us like just trying to cope with the fact that, because like all three of our characters have been horribly traumatized and lost everything, and yet they found solace in coming together with each other as the world falls apart around them. And I think that really speaks to about half of planet Earth, including us right now. So we're all just trying to make it. And I think that's what's great about Spy X Family. It shows, people coming together and making it work, getting by. And honestly, I think the found family side of things is probably the best part about it, in that I think, honestly, like, with the exception of my direct family who I live with and work with every day, obviously, my dad. Like, with the exception of that, in regards to family, I love my closest friends more than my extended family. Like, like, family is what you make it, and I think that just, like, you don't have, like, those relationships can build and grow, and sometimes, things just happen that way. And I think that's what's really great about Anya and her reactions and her interactions with the other two, because she has, like, she knows everything about her two parents, right? But they know nothing about her. And I think that's what's the most touching thing about the whole affair, is the fact that she's constantly, like, in a weird sort of twist, it's always in this sort of scenario, like, the parents trying to work out everything around the child, whereas in this one it's the other way around. Because she's in the know of everything that's going on. So, yeah. And talking on the actual material point of Spy X Family and how it's been done, just the absolute quality behind the production of this show.
Yeah, across the board, mind you.
It's the animation, the voice acting, the performance, like the school episode where they're doing the interview. That whole scene where that douchebag pushes it too far, right? Where that asshole of a teacher who's like the rich guy who was appointed there by his dad or whatever, when he brings up the fact that when he mentions Anya's original mother, like that whole scene, the acting, the voice actor's performance from Anya's voice actress to Lloyd, like the whole cast in that room right there, that scene, the acting in there was just incredibly well done. The animation was amazing too. And actually, here's something, if I'm gonna go extra nerdy on this bitch. Spy X Family's color palette is mwah.
It's so it's very vibrant, right?
Yeah, like you would expect that, even though it's a family wholesome show, some of the stuff it touches on is truly dark stuff. And yet
I think so Spy X Family falls into a category of series that I would classify as, like, they deal with dark stuff, but they do it in a way that makes sense tonally. And that's why I don't consider it as jarring. Like, I've criticized shows here before for having jarring tone, right? A series where it'll be very dark and then it will whiplash into, like, slapstick comedy.
Yeah.
Spy X Family does this in such a way where it makes you aware that there's these dark things going on, that this is quite a sad world, this isn't, like, this is the Cold War, right? Like, a Cold War. And this is, like, this is a world born of that. However, it ducks and weaves it in such a way that, like, Lloyd, for example, looks down upon Bondman for, like, portraying the life of a spy in a very cartoonish way. But then you look at the way that the show goes, it is very cartoonish as well itself.
Yeah,
but
100%.
The implication is that there has been dark moments in Lloyd's life. And it deals with this, that contrast is really good because it doesn't feel at odds. The sweet spots and the emotional spots are done in such a way where they feel emotional or delicate, right? But they don't feel forced,
Yeah, like the latest episode of Spy X Family really sort of hit home to me what this show can do and how it balances its tone, because its tone work is just incredible. Like, because here we are, a spy on a mission, an assassin who's getting ready to kill people, right? It's, it's all very thing. And then Anya gets accepted into the school. And so they have to throw a party for her, right? And she desperately wants her adopted dad to live out his job as Bond man. And, so Lloyd has to call in all of the agents in the country. Everybody.
All of who are very excited about this, by the way. Which it makes it all the funnier watching this bunch of grizzled professional spies, some of whom come by jet ski. It's very funny watching them roll up on this castle that he hires out for the purpose of this. And
the expense report for that mission.
Beautiful. Honestly, beautiful.
It's just but what's really fantastic about it throughout the whole thing, what's genuinely truly wonderful about it, is that even though he's whinging and complaining and he hurts at the amount of company time and company money he's just spent to do this, at no point does Lloyd question or resist the idea of doing what he can for Anya. And that's very, very pointed. This child, which he's picked up, because every single person he's brought into his life to accomplish a mission, he's discarded without a second thought. That's made in the opening scene of the show. And yet, he's in a situation now where both with Anya and Yor, he can't. He is openly taking consideration for both of their welfare and their safety and their happiness. And he makes sacrifices which actually, in some cases, are to the detriment of his mission to accommodate them. And I think that what we saw that in this latest episode, and I think that's what's gonna start chipping away at Iceman. You know what I mean? And that's what's really funny about the rest of the agents being in on this, because the rest of the agents are just like, hell yeah, we get to see the badass spy in action, and they play along with this. And they all of them must realize.
At a certain point, it's very clear that they do realize what the fuck is going on. And they just go along with it. They're perfectly happy to.
Because they see Anya as, a vital part of their mission, but at the same time, it's just a little girl just trying to cope, and she doesn't have a birthday because of, what happened to her. So, they got to go the extra hard yards for her.
Gotta do,
and they do.
Gotta do.
Man, I would look, if the CIA was this behind Family Fun, I think I could get behind it. You know what I mean? But anyway, Spy X Family. Long story short, it's number one of the season for a reason. I don't agree with it being number one of the season for
neither. I mean, okay, so it should be said that in terms of overall production quality, there's no contest, right? There's only one other series that's hitting on these levels right now.
Yeah.
And we will discuss that in a minute. However, I do agree that Spy X Family is one of the best series of the season. No contest on that front. And
it doesn't deserve
it's very
9
good.
out of 10 on
It's
Mal.
very good, but I don't... The problem with Spy X Family is that it has, some meat on the bone, especially when you get, further into the story. But as it is right now... these parts are just they're just world building, a little bit of comedy, all this sort of thing, and it sort of keeps that as we go forwards. And I think that's where it comes up weaker compared to some of the other shows that we're going to deal with, which are more plot driven, less episodic, right?
All right. Speaking of, though, moving on to the next show this season, because I'm going from the spring 2022 on Mal, and I'm going from top down. Season 2 of a show I'm not watching. I don't really. Oh no, that's Rising of the Shield Hero. Rising of the Shield Hero.
So there's only one comment to be said about Rising of the Shield Hero this season, and it's lol CGI.
Lol CGI.
The Spirit Turtle really fucked you guys up, huh?
We are a. I would say we're both in agreement that we are an anti-Shield Hero podcast.
Yeah, I'm pretty anti Shield Hero, and I'm definitely anti anyone who reads the Shield Hero spin-off.
Look, I'm sorry, but you start a series with a false R word,
Yeah, accusation.
accusation, and then you buy a slave and train her to follow your bidding, and it's depicted as okay because she was treated really well and she loves her master. And I'm like, look, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of various things, but like, quite frankly, this show, no. It's not redo of Healer, but this is redo light. Okay, just no. I know that's gonna cop. I know it's a very popular show, and I'm gonna cop a lot of heat for saying that, but I don't give a damn. Like, dude, you have so much better things to do with your time than watch Shield Hero, like watching Kaguya-sama Lovers War Season 3 Ultra Romantic. We can't really say much.
Yeah,
Because it's a third
look,
season.
let's be real. It's more Kaguya. So if you like, okay, as it is right now, it's more Kaguya. There's stuff coming, obviously manga dependent here, that it's gonna cause some controversy.
I'm wondering if the anime is even going to bother, or if they're just going to like or if they're just gonna retcon a bunch of it, or like skim over a bunch of it and go for a more.
I don't know.
With the tone they're going with right now, like,
yeah, it is exceptionally comedic at the moment, so I can't really. I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
But as we call it, the Incelgami arc is coming.
The Incelgami arc is lurking.
But some of the
horizon.
key visual art that I've seen for this season, shows Shirogane in a top hat, which means spoiler. Okay, boys, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's almost there. It's all. I'm like, every time, like, this season, we've also seen a lot of asides where Shirogane and Kaguya are both making their feelings about the other, like, concerned about them seeing other girls or concerned about seeing other guys or whatever. They've been saying it to each other indirectly, and they've been playing games that are obvious that they're trying to get the other one to catch on, right? Before it was, I want you to force to confess to me so I can dominate you. But now it's, I just want you to be open with me. They're playing little games to try and get the others to say, hey, because they really desperately want it. It's not about power anymore. It's this, they want each other to say it. And every moment it happens, it's getting closer, guys. It's getting closer. The moment we've been waiting all this time for is almost upon us. Also, can we just, backtrack? Yeah, it's more Kaguya, yada, yada, yada. If you've seen Kaguya, go watch it. It's fantastic. We love Kaguya. But can we just appreciate that this season, in terms of production quality and style, they have knocked it out of the fucking park. That rap episode that just came out, bro, the ending though.
Yeah, I wanted to, like, if you get the chance, go on Twitter and go look at Vercreek, VERCREEK. Look at his Twitter feed. He has got the key visuals up for this, for the last, at time of recording, episodes keyframes that he did for the ending of the show. It is fucking crazy. That dude killed it.
Man, like, absolutely slaughtered that bitch. Like, dude. And that episode too, like, Chika and Shirogane rapping was just so freaking funny. And of course, the dub are simul-dubbing it right now. The dub team is simul-dubbing it as it comes out. So I've been watching Kaguya twice this season, and the dub cast is they're just killing it. The narrator's just killing it like he always does, and the rest of the cast are doing well. So honestly, Kaguya is a smash hit this season. At least it is for me. Also, the regular ending this season is a parody of Starship Troopers, and I cannot tell you how funny that is.
Yeah,
honestly,
the references this week are getting kind of crazy.
Yeah, dude. Like, and the intro again, the main man who did some questionable things.
Let's just say Google blackface controversy.
Justin Trudeauing up in this bitch.
Oh boy!
Um,
Oh boy!
That being said, like the king of Japanese love songs is back, and he smashes it out the park again. And I am depressed because I will never have as much swag as that man does. And yes, no, I know that swag went out of the window since like what 2015, but there's no other word for it. The man radiates alpha energy. Point is, Kaguya smashing it. And I love it, and we're getting close to the big moment we're all waiting for. And I'm just wondering if they're going to continue adapting Kaguya. I hope they do, but I think they might go for the finale of the Kaguya adaptation to be the big moment. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, there's not much else we can actually say on that matter.
Not really, except just get ready for the Incel Gami arc because it's a trip.
You're gonna need to brace yourselves. All right, now it's time to talk about Peter's pick for the season.
Yep, it is, and it could be one of two, but I'm gonna go with my heart. Of all the shows, I know I opened up with the Golf Waifus, and yes, ironically enough, Golf Waifus is my second pick this season.
Are you trying to kill me?
I know, right? But you see, the thing is, Summertime Rendering, which we'll talk about later, and Spy X Family are both incredible, and they are definitely the best made and best written shows this season. But am I counting down the days to the next episode? No, I'm not. I'm like, oh, it's Sunday, summertime, or Spy X Family is out today. Excellent. I'll go watch that with Ivy here when he's around. That's what's happening with Spy X Family and Summertime Rendering. Kaguya comes out on Thursday. Hell yeah, I like Kaguya. I've been following it. I'll click it. There is only one anime this season where I literally count down the days till it comes out. I wait the whole week, and it comes out tomorrow at midnight. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to talk about the sleeper hit and my personal number one for this season. And we're going to talk about Ya Boy. Ya Boy is in the house. Zhu Liang, General of the Three Kingdoms, turned music producer. That's right, we're talking about Ya Boy Kongming. And
or for the cultured Parapi Komei.
This show slaps so hard. Like, the opening slaps. The music in the show slaps. The animation slaps. The comedy slaps. Everything about this show just... I'm telling you, if it wasn't in High Dive Jail, because that's where it is, this show would be like easily be up there. Not to the same level, but it would be second place behind Spy X Family if it was on Crunchy or Funimation or Netflix.
I'm definitely willing to believe that it would definitely be doing a lot. It wouldn't be as polarizing as Spy X Family, but it would be in like the top 3, I think, because this show just goes. It's important to realize that like this is a great example of an anime that has less but does like a lot with it. Because like the animation here, it's not the best in the world. There's some cool moments with rotoscoping.
I would say that the dancing animation when Aiko's up on stage.
Oh yeah, that's what I mentioned. Yeah, like the rotoscoping stuff.
It's crazy. Like, but
I just remember something I've got to write down.
I think what just gets me about Ya Boy Kongming is just it is a vibe. That is the show. It is a vibe. It is a show where nothing misses, right? It's a show where nothing misses. Like, nothing actually misses. The comedy is hilarious. Like, it's also really heartfelt. It's a comedy. It's a comedy. It's a slice of life. It's a sports anime on several occasions. Actually, it has a lot of sports anime tropes in this show. It's wholesome. It's really wholesome. In fact, it's got to be one of the most wholesome shows of the season. I think, like, Spy X Family is wholesome, and so is this. Like, Team Wholesome is really doing well this season. Like, the relationship between Aiko and Kongming is just really, really great. And Aiko herself is best girl of the season for me. And Ivy's died inside. But Aiko is best girl of the season for me. For two reasons. One, Aiko being Aiko. Like, Anya is winning the expressions game right now for obvious reason. Because Anya's expressions are what make the manga of Spy X Family so fucking funny. Her reactions are just hysterical.
I'd also say that, like, there hasn't really been a series since, I guess, Surge Children that had, like, the same level of, like, ridiculous expressions. Because let's be real, Surge Children's next level when it comes to fucking, like, out there facial expressions. And this is, like, exactly the same.
Yeah. But your boy Kongming has come in swinging. Its comedy is, like, the sight gags with Aiko's expressions. Like, the sight gags with the characters. The art direction in your boy Kongming is probably one of its strongest points. The character designs, like the color palettes they use. Like, when Zhu Liang or Kongming is getting his traditional Chinese garbs dried and dry cleaned, and he's sitting in the laundrette, just sort of sitting there, or the laundry, coin laundry. He's sitting there waiting for his normal clothes to get cleaned and dried. And so he's sitting there in a green and blue tracksuit, right? With his hat still on. And, like, the rapper he's trying to recruit looks over on him. He's like, he's reading a book on the Three Kingdoms at the time, actually. He's like, huh? Kongming? What? The hat? It's just like, I think what this show does is it takes an eclectic set of ideas, historical general, specializing in warfare, like the king of war. Like, he was Sun Tzu to Electric Boogaloo, right? In ancient China. Like, this was the guy. Strategist for Liu Bei, right? Absolute god tier.
I'm sorry, just the phrasing Sun Tzu to Electric Boogaloo is just hit me deep in my core. I know that it's like 3 a.m., but oh my god.
But, like, Sun Tzu to Electric Boogaloo, and, he becomes a music producer, right? So you've got the Chinese history and military history element, which is a big thing for me, right? I'm not the biggest fan of Chinese history. I don't know much about him, but because of this, I like the historical angle. So I went and did research on Kongming, and then watched the anime along with him to see if I can get the jokes, right? So my love of history has brought me in. Then I find out it's a music anime, right? And I'm a big Idol anime fan, to my shame. Though I have been getting better. I haven't watched Love Live this season. I'm considering it. But I love music anime, and the music in this anime slaps. It's EDM, J-pop, and rap. Incredible. And it opens with a Eurobeat song, like a Eurobeat pop song. Which I gotta say, actually, that is the point we're going to get across here. Your boy Kongming has the best opening of the season. Period.
You're
wrong. You're wrong, Ivy. You're wrong.
No, hold on. I'm just running down the list.
Any other answer is wrong.
I don't know. I am gonna lean towards Spy X Family on this. I love that song.
No.
I love that song. No, I'm sorry.
Incorrect. In fucking correct.
You can't incorrect my opinion.
I'm going to, because there is one clear consensus. Like, I know it's lame pulling this card, but literally the big Anitubers on the platform, and I know that's not the best way to judge things, but honestly, literally, all of the big channels and some of the smaller ones have all collectively, for the first time ever, they've all sat down and collectively agreed and gone, yeah, this is the best opening. And
can we just admire, however, the route that we got to here? Because, like, people did not care when this season started and, like, Kome was on the list. And then the first time I saw Kome myself was on Twitter when I saw somewhat like an account that was posting all the, you know, seasonal openings, and this account posted the like opening, and I was like, damn, this is kind of cool. And so I checked out the first episode. I was like, oh fuck, this is actually pretty funny. And so I got Pac-Man on the line. I was like, Pac, you gotta fucking check this out, man. He's like, oh, I don't know. And then watched it, loved it.
Well, actually, I'm gonna point out that I think I already knew we were onto a banger is because your Boy Kongming was actually the only anime this season besides Spy X Family, obviously, that you didn't have to twist my arm to watch. You had to twist my arm to watch all of the others. But
did I twist your arm for I did have to twist your arm for
You twisted my arm for Summertime Rendering, you twisted it for Shikimori, and you definitely twisted it to watch the Hero Show, which you then dropped and I've kept with, which is really, really funny. But point is, your Boy Kongming is just this anime where the characters are all so wonderful. It's so remarkably wholesome. And Kongming is living up to his title. He is your boy. And in something resembling some of our closest friends, he's a man who came from a world where, as part of his job, he was forced to execute his best friend and put his enemies' heads on spikes. And, you know, he's come from a really dark place. And everyone he knows and loves and cherishes is dead. Right? You know, his faction lost the war that they spent all their lives fighting. His master Liu Bei is dead. Like, everything's fallen apart on him, right? And here he comes to this world, and he realizes he has a chance, instead of being an agent of war in this world, he can be an agent of peace and bring joy to people through music instead of by the sword. You know what I mean? And it's like, I know it seems like, and that's what's really great about this show, because on the surface it seems so eclectic and stupid, yet when you get into it, the stories behind our characters are all really deep and really dark. Like Aiko, the main character, was borderline on the unalive track, if you know what I mean. And her boss, the club manager, stops her from doing the deed and then says, hey, come to the show tonight. Like, I'll look after you tonight. Like, just get your head straight. And it reignited her passion for music because of the artist she saw there. And she pursued a career in music, and she's desperately been trying, performing at the club. She's got a small following. But Kongming hears, you know, her music and realizes, I'm not in hell. I haven't been reincarnated. Because, look, if you appear in Shibuya on a Friday night on Halloween, you're going to think you're in hell. But
there's a very dark crossover we can do where Jujutsu Kaisen crosses over with.
We can't talk about that because most of our audience are anime only, including me. So we can't talk about that. Point is, Shibuya, middle of the night, not a good place to be, no matter what time you're in, unless you're going out partying, and even then,
especially not on Halloween. I'll say that much. Cough. Go read the manga. Anyway, if we better keep moving, or we're gonna be here till 6 a.m.
We're gonna be here till 6 a.m. And you know what? You're right. But the point is, your Boy Kongming is so deep, so deep and lovable and wholesome, yet at the same time so ridiculously hilarious. Yet at the same time has incredibly good music. So much so that Aiko is getting, like, you know, the actress who's playing Aiko is playing her as a character like you would in an idol anime, like Muse or from Love Live, or like Fran Shushu from the best idol anime ever, Zombieland Saga. Fight me, everybody, if you disagree. I don't care if there are any Macross fans, you're wrong. Fight me. Point is, your Boy Kongming takes every genre. Sports anime, because there's rap battles and competitions with other artists, right? There's sports anime, there's music, there's history, there's battle, there's comedy. It takes all of these genres, smushes them together, and somehow has made it work. and I spend every week counting down to midnight on Thursday so I can watch the next episode. That is what I'm talking about. If there's one takeaway, should we talk about the show that you're going to want to force everybody to watch next?
Oh yeah, it's time. It's my time to fucking shine.
Okay, so that's my number one for the season. Despite everything, your boy Kongming. Watch that show.
So,
it is the best.
In the probably the last of the ones that we're going to spend quite like the last long-ish sort of bounce arounds is the series which is currently sentenced to Disney Plus jail.
Which is a crime.
It's an absolute crime.
The two best shows this season, your boy Kongming and Summertime Rendering, are both behind obscure paywalls, and it pisses me off. It's fucked.
Yeah, it's not good. Okay, so Summertime Rendering. Oh boy, this series is so hard to pitch to people, right?
And we can't even talk about it because if we want people to go watch it, we can't say anything about it.
So, we will do this in the vaguest, most outliney way possible. A young man who has left his home island for 2 years has returned to this idyllic tropical island to attend the funeral of his childhood friend, implied to be, with more feelings, who has died. And things get weird. That's literally all we can say without spoiling anything else of the premise, I think. It is awesome. It is visually stunning. It is well written. It is the adaptation from manga to anime is doing exceptionally well. They've done a very good job of it so far. The action is killer. The slice of life, the humor is very good as well. And most importantly, Shinpei is a hot protagonist.
Yeah, he is a hot boy.
Look. I am sick to death of Blandy McBlanderson fucking protags who there is nothing appealing about them at all. They are just a blank face that the audience can self-insert onto. Shinpei is not. Shinpei looks like someone, he has a personality, and boy howdy, he has a distinct personality. And that is something so fucking rare for these kinds of protags.
And
right?
and you want to know the best compliment I can give this show, especially about this show, the best compliment we can give you is the fact that the writing is so good. The writing is so incredibly good that the way we have to describe the show to you is, so he goes and does the thing to talk to the person who did the thing that said the thing a week ago to do a thing, which in turn does a thing. Because if we say even one thing in any part of the description, it will spoil something. It's so interwoven and so well written, and everything plays into everything else. A character's word here, something in frame there. Like,
foreshadowing.
Guys,
there is foreshadowing.
Guys,
there is references. There is constant, this is a detective show. This is a, fuck.
The only hint I'm going to give you as to what this show is I compared it to Steins Gate for a reason. If you're looking
just absolutely just given it away.
No, I can't, because it's not that. I've compared it to Steins Gate for a reason. And what I mean by that is it happens in the first episode. Don't be a moron. Point is, if you Steins Gate, when it goes full on, and I'm talking visual novel Steins Gate, there are so many things you have to pick up on, and so many different ways that you can approach any different situation in that. And there's 50 different endings. This show does all of that, but it's taken the experience that we've learned from a decade of manga writing. Okay? He has taken that, Steins Gate formula, incorporated the best elements of other thriller shows and other action shows, and he's woven it into... Is the author a man or a woman.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think
It's Tanaka Yasunori.
yeah,
the guy.
like the guy who's written this has taken everything we learned from Steins Gate over a decade ago and woven it and taken all the improvements that we've had in manga and anime storytelling over the past decade and has used it to create something just
It's important to note, this is very, very funny. The author of Summertime Render has had quite a few series before. This isn't his first roundabout time at. But in his earlier career, he had a certain assistant, and that assistant was none other than Horikoshi. That's right, the author of My Hero Academia. And in his earlier career, he worked as an assistant to none other than Hirohiko Araki. That's right, JoJo's motherfucker.
Yep. He helped write JoJo back in the day.
Well, it helped with the art.
And his apprentice went on to make My Hero, right? So this is the caliber of man who's writing this. And fuck. Just at the end of every episode, my jaw has been on the floor.
Yeah, and it's been pretty fun to watch. It not in terms of the sense. It's been fun to watch people who are watching it react to it. See, I completed the manga. I reread the manga when the season started because I wanted to revise a few details, and it's given me a different appreciation for the series. So I'm watching it in a very different way to a lot of other people. And so far, I've got to say, it's a fucking good adaptation. The only thing that's different between this and the anime and the manga is that I can't even say that because it's a fucking spoil. Some stuff has been censored. There's mild censorship that goes on between the manga and the anime, and I would assume that's got something to do with Disney's role in production a little bit. They've still kept it. They've still kept it though. It's still up there. It's still pretty crazy.
And not only that, the author has openly said that in his collaboration with Disney in putting this on anime, he's fixed.
I believe it is the studio who's actually doing the adaptation.
He's fixed. There were some tangents and plot threads that didn't go anywhere, and some plot holes that didn't get addressed. He is actually fixing them in the anime adaptation. So not only is this a banger as a manga, the author is worked with the studio making it to fix the problems that he did have with the manga. So this, we can't really talk about it, so we'll have to move on from this show, but all I'm going to say is go watch this thing.
Yeah, look, I cannot emphasize this enough. This show slaps. This show is, look, every season, lately there's been a real problem with seasonal anime where a lot of them have nothing meaty on the bone. There is no depth to, these shows are lacking in many departments, characters or general story. A lot of them are very episodic. You can watch a lot of these shows basically out of order and they'd make just about as much sense, right?
Yep.
There's not a whole lot of motion, but every episode of this show is pushing the plot forwards, pushing the narrative, developing the characters, showing an absolute range of fucking characterization. Every character is so clearly written, clearly distinct.
All I'm gonna say is the one big difference between this anime and the show I compared it to, Steins Gate, is that Steins Gate had a big problem with pacing earlier on because it was a visual novel originally, right? All I'm going to say is with Summertime Rendering, don't you worry. There ain't, people say 0 to 100. No. Summertime Rendering, 0 to 1,000,000. You're going warp 8. 0 to warp 8, my guy, straight up out the gate.
Put to the floor straight out the gate.
You're it's 15 minutes of, these are all the characters, everything's great, look at this, the island's pretty, what's going on, here's the basic plot details. Can't say anything because we needed, again, we can't say anything because it'll spoil the thing.
We're
but
doing this for you. We're protecting.
as I said,
the secrecy of this series is so that, like, if you watch this, you'll appreciate that we didn't tell you.
all I'm going to say is, as I said, the only hint you're getting is Steins Gate is what I'm going to compare it to. That's the only hint you're getting.
And man, this series, oh man, okay,
Fuck, and that's what I'm saying.
there,
Like,
that's what we're gonna have to leave it because there's
we're
nothing
gonna
else
leave
we
it,
can say.
like,
because
as I said, it's 20 minutes of episode building. You're like, oh, this is the sister, and this is the dad, and oh, look at this. This is how great. Look at all this. Here's the island, and then you hit around at minute 20, and you're like, what the? Just,
exactly.
So-
and
so yeah, go fucking what? Okay, basically that's the title of this episode. Go watch Kongming and go watch Summertime Rendering. 'cause-
bingo.
Just do that because those are the two shows that you should be watching. You're already watching Spy X Family. Don't lie to us. You already are. So,
yeah.
watch these
let's be
two.
real. That's the ones to watch.
Jeff, I don't know if you watch this. One day, Jeff Thu from Mother's Basement may watch us if we ever get big enough. But if you ever go back through our catalog for some reason, if you ever watch this, I'm not going to forgive you. I know you mention it, but I'm not going to forgive you for not putting a top 3 of Summertime Rendering here because
Ridiculous.
Summertime Rendering,
Oh.
like, look, all I'm going to say is, Jeff, Giguk picked it up. You didn't. How do you feel?
It's because he's a shill. Okay, so now we're gonna break
What
out.
Let's go speedrunning, shall we?
Okay.
Okay, shows.
So shows that aren't getting talked about enough and are still good. Love After World Domination. Let's go.
Love After World Domination. Yeah, come. I know. Look, Ivy here is. Wait. Well, let's not be coy about this. Ivy here is a scan later covering the hit manga series Ranger Reject.
Hit. Oh, I wish it was a hit.
Right, I wish it was a hit. Right, Ranger Reject. So, Love After World Domination is hitting a particular niche for us, which is more Sentai, please.
Yeah,
More
and
Sentai.
look, there's clearly room for a Sentai anime. Let's go. Let's fucking show us what you got because this
Dude.
is awesome. So, let's quickly rattle off the premise for this one. Love After World Domination is a rom-com between the red, not Sentai, Gelato, okay, the red Gelato Ranger who is in love with one of the villainous executives, who is the Reaper Princess. The
Right.
two of them get into a relationship. It's a nice, good old... I'd compare it to Boarding School Juliet in the whole, Romeo and Juliet aspect. Two people from warring clans. And they spend their life trying to, be romantic, be together. And this leads to some absolutely fucking hilarious moments. The classic was from, was it episode 3 or 4? The one where they went to the theme park?
Yep.
Because the humor in this series is that the author clearly loves Sentai and is very aware of Sentai tropes. And, for example, there's a scene where the two of them are sitting around talking about date plans. And the Reaper Princess comments, "It's not that I don't love meeting up with you in abandoned buildings and quarries, but I would like to go to some actual dates, like date places." And it's like, that is it. That is the Sentai slogan right there. Abandoned parking lots, abandoned buildings, and quarries.
hang on. Does that mean, oh my god, that's proof, ladies and gentlemen, Doctor Who is now canonically a Sentai? Abandoned car parks and quarries.
And conveniently always in World War II.
Yeah, so that's the thing, right? So, like, honestly, this show is
it should be emphasized. It should be emphasized here that this is a single target rom-com. There is no love triangle-y shit going on here.
Okay. It's just perfect. Like
I've
they
read
love
the
each other.
manga.
They love each other. They're trying to make a relationship work under the worst of circumstances. They are so fucking adorable together. They are the cutest couple this season.
They passed the vibe check, folks.
if it wasn't for Lloyd and Yor from Spy X Family, these two would be the couple of the season for me. They're absolutely.
What about Sensor's Self? I can't say that out loud because I'd be spoiling.
Shut up. Shut up.
Yeah, I'm shutting up. But yeah, Love After World Domination, worth checking out. The animation, it's not the world's best. It's a little bit weird, but
it's a rom-com.
It shows its position in.
It's a rom-com, and it has the rom-com budget.
Yeah, it's got the rom-com budget. There's not a whole lot of this to say other than that. It's very funny. If you're looking for something to just laugh at alongside, your weekly dose of Spy X Family, this is one. This is a good one.
This is the good one. Other shows this season that you should be watching.
I think it's this point, Birdie Wing, yeah?
Birdie Wing.
Okay,
this is what we cold opened on. Golf waifus, right?
We picked this up because we were like, what the fuck?
Golf waifu. And it turned out to be a smash hit with me. I have watched every episode of Birdie Wing.
Pac is like single-handedly fighting against the tide of people giving this like a 6.5 on Mal to be like, no, it's actually really good, guys. No, please give it the time.
This show, actually, I'm going to be blunt. This show is not that great. It's not going to break any records. It's not doing anything profound, but it is a sports anime with cute girls playing a sport I don't know much about. And that's why that Ice Hockey Idol anime disappointed me so much. Because it wasn't even about playing. There was like this anime that came out a couple of months back, actually last year, I think, which is like an Ice Hockey Idol show. And I
I know the one you're talking about.
And I really wanted to get into it, but I was like, it wasn't like, there was nothing about ice hockey. There was like nothing about ice hockey or anything. It was just sort of like they play it as a game, and then they sing as idols when they win. And like in Uma Musume, it makes sense because it's horse racing. You run fast.
Pride
and
of
win.
Orange, right? That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Like in horse racing, it's very straightforward. You run and you win. But I want to learn about ice hockey, and I watched sports anime for sports, and there wasn't much hockey. Arcada, who's Canadian, said it best. Glass Reflection. He's a Canadian. He's like, I was so excited because this is hockey, and I'm a Canadian, and I was disappointed. I'm like, I'm with you, man. I don't even like hockey that much. I don't know much about it. Oh man, Scott's gonna fucking kill me for saying that. But like, I've never understood the hype around hockey, but I sort of enjoyed that. And the thing is, with Birdie Wing, it talks about like what drivers to use and all that sort of thing.
I've also compared it jokingly to Inazuma 11. It is not like Inazuma 11, it should be said. There's no superpowers here. That being said, the main character does have special moves that she uses when she plays golf, which is really weird.
What it is, you know what it is? It's Kuroko no Basket is what it is.
Yeah, it's definitely closer to Kuroko's than like Inazuma. This isn't like this isn't Shaolin Soccer, right? This isn't superpowered like takes on a sport. This is the sport being played legitimately, except for some reason the main character has like not special abilities, but she names her attacks basically.
She names her attacks, right? But the other characters do use their moves too, and they have all their things. And Aoi, or whatever her name is, the Innocent Tyrant as she's known, has a Pac-Man golf ball, which she calls Pac-kun. And I wish someone would hit me like that, if you know what I mean. Especially
what Pac is asking for is someone to crush him like a bull.
Which I wish Aoi would. I wish Aoi would. Quite honest, because she's wonderful, she's beautiful and wholesome and wonderful. But no, in all seriousness, Birdie Wing is just, if you like sports anime and you like waifus, just fucking do it, man. Because
look, I'm like obviously not as like into this series as Pac is. Still I don't mind sitting down and watching it. It's fun. I've got to say that it has some really cool elements. It is an absolutely ridiculous world that they live in. Let's be real.
Fucking underground golf yakuza.
The fact that like There's
No,
a
not even
scam-
that.
there's a
It's Golf
scam being
Mafia.
it's a scam being run. There's a scam being run by the mafia that involves rigging golf games with magnets. Which outstanding, fucking outstanding. You gotta love it.
It's silly. Like it's really silly, and I don't mind it being silly. Point is, Birdie Wing has underground golf mafia, yakuza, and Eve, the main character, is going off to be like she moonlights as a professional golfer to help the pros keep on their game, right? And also competes occasionally when she's ordered to by her mafia handlers. But she spends the rest of her time running an orphanage with her family to and she funds that by, winning underground golf games and gambling on the streets. You know what I mean? So I'm waiting for the moment now that she's played in a tournament with the main antag AoE, although a side protag, I guess. She's not an antagonist. They're just so beautifully wholesome together. She's just itching to she's caught the bug of wanting to play golf professionally. And so Eve is going to fight her way to the top and get into golfing legitimately. And so that's going to be the story. And I really hope that Birdie Wing takes off, but it doesn't look like it's going to. It's got a 6.
Yeah, and unfortunately, as we all know, a 6 is basically dead in the water for
Mal,
yeah, for like, especially because weebs seem to consider anything under a 7 to be like disaster levels of like...
It's not. Birdie Wing is just, of all the anime to watch this season, I've just adored Birdie Wing.
Yeah, it's definitely a series that I really like the protagonist, and I like the set it was a really cool little backdrop for the protag, and I kind of just wish the series was about that. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
do you know what it reminds me of? Do you know what it reminds me of? I haven't felt this way for a long time, and I know why. It's gangster.
Yeah.
It's gangster, right? Like, it's these people who are, like, literally, like, the lumpen proles of, like, all of this, you know? They're, like, basically doing whatever the fuck they've got to do to survive, except in this case, it's golf. And scamming rich people out of money via golf, which, you know, I've seen stupid. I've watched One Outs. God, that show is so good. I need to get you to watch that one. I think that will really appeal to your love of gambling series.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's really all there is to be said about golf waifus. There's not a whole lot to it. It's nice and simple. It's comfy. Give it a shot. Yeah, we'll give it a watch, I'd say. So as we have so far. Okay, so this is where we start to get into territory where I've watched more than you. So we'll go to Shikimori next.
Shikimori.
Shikimori is not just a cutie.
You want to know something really, really horrible? Horrible?
Horrible. We're starting to lose the language faculties, folks.
I'll tell you what's really horrible about this anime. I am treating it like Lucky Star. You know what I mean? It's like if I'm feeling a bit down, or if I'm feeling a little bit as this series is going on, if I'm feeling a bit bored or just a bit tired, I'm like, you know what? I'll watch Shikimori, right? Because, you know, I want a little bit of a pick me up because it's cute and wholesome and wonderful. But is it a page turner? Nah. Like,
yeah,
this is peak slice of life romance fluff.
I soured on Shikimori as a whole because it's just kind of dragging out, just like most fluff do. And the anime hasn't helped matters because of one thing. I've got this written in my notes for this episode, and I think it's important to mention the critical failure of the Shikimori anime is, what the fuck are those eyes? What the fuck are those eyes? I don't know what it is, but there is something deeply, deeply fucking wrong with these fucking eyes. And that's it. That's all. Literally, like, look, it's a fluffy series. It is it's not getting better by the episode because of the quality is pretty crap. I'm gonna give it a not watch, to be honest.
I mean,
Look,
it's
I'm gonna say don't watch it, read, okay? Look, the art for the manga kicks this shit out of the fucking park, so I'd say read the manga.
Go read the manga. Yeah, it's a read the manga for me too. I honestly, it's not
Yeah,
bad.
I've shown you the art for the manga, and you can safely say that manga art way better.
Yeah. Honestly, Shikimori, basically TLDR, in a role reversal, which is the entire point of the season's comedy, or the show's comedy rather. Instead of the guy being all protective, it's the girl being all protective, and she's a badass and he's a wet blanket. Like it's the ultimate role reversal where you have the wet blanket boy who's absolutely under the thumb of absolutely totally badass girl, but totally badass girl still acts like a girl. So, she gets jealous, she gets protective, she's like, oh, I want to do all the things that a girlfriend does, and she's very stereotypical anime girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
Top tier anime GF, as
And
they say, trademark.
Shikimori is like it's the chronic situation that we've seen with like this new rise in actual like the girl who's a bit more outgoing thing, and it is that it's this really static depiction of a woman in a relationship or like close to a relationship, right? It's the same problem I had with Marin, in that like the flaws they have are so minimal.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna go out here and annoy Ivy. But I'm gonna say it.
Pick a fight.
Like, I'm gonna say it, right? The problem is that I have with this whole thing is that when you have waifus that are like this badass, right? She's completely incongruous with being what she is, because she's your normal slightly flushed, slightly awkward Genki girl, right? She's not outgoing, but she's also like, she just there's a lot that she's like, she's everything and nothing, right? She's everything and nothing, and yet she's all like, she's like, oh, are you okay? Such so and so couldn't, and when he says something cute to her, she's like, yeah, Izumi. He's like, oh, when he says something cute to her, she blushes and she's like, yay, he's gonna go on a date with me or whatever, right? And then the next moment, when something bad's about to happen to our protag or something, she turns into Bruce Lee, right? Look, it's a stupid wish fulfillment comedy premise. I get it, but like, at least with characters like, and this is what's going to piss Ivy off, at least with characters like Asuna from Sword Art Online, she has a big backstory, and she has worked hard to be a senior swordsman. She's incredible, and she's dangerous and well-rounded in her own right. I know it sounds silly to sort of put the same sort of rules onto a slice of life character, but it just doesn't feel like Asuna's a normal woman who's, a normal girl who's grown up in this terrible situation in Sword Art Online, and then she develops a relationship after she's achieved everything she wants to achieve in her own right, in herself, right? And then enters into this relationship. And so, yeah, she's perfectly stable and happy and loves her boyfriend, but at the same time, she can look after him or she can look after herself, right? With Shikimori, nothing justifies her being the way she is. Nothing justifies her. There's just a big disconnect with her personality and what she is in the show, right? They write her one way and then she acts another way. And yeah, that's supposed to be the comedy. But apart from the first 10 minutes, the joke wears off.
Yeah, it's something that I liked once, and now it's just kind of meh.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Shows that you can watch if you like it, and you didn't watch it.
Okay, breaking out. That would mean that it's time for us to talk about the show that I forced Pack to watch and then dropped. So, Yusha Yamimas, or the hero... Oh, fuck, what was it? The hero was exiled?
I'm quitting heroing.
I'm quitting heroing, that's right.
Okay, so before we talk about that, TLDR speedrun for the rest of the anime that we didn't watch and don't talk about. Komi-san, it's cute, it's funny. You know why you watch it. You've probably watched season 1.
A lot of people did.
Yep, yada yada yada. You've got a whole bunch of things. You've watched this one. I haven't. But it's in one of my favorite genres. Mobsekai or Otome game mob.
Oh, Moboseka. Yeah, I'll quickly speedrun this one then. Basically, it is a sort of subversion, I guess, because it's... So basically, you have a guy, he plays an otome game for his sister, he dies in typical isekai fashion. He is resurrected into the body of a boy in another world who is part of an aristocratic family, except in this world, it's a matriarchal society and men are deeply oppressed. It's a very weird setting. The protagonist is fun, he's a very dry, sarcastic, witty guy. This goes out the window at a certain point. I don't think the anime is quite there yet. The anime sucks. I'm sorry. The quality is crap. It is just not acceptable across the board. Just go read the manga. Go read the light novel. Do literally anything but touch this anime because fucking Studio Engi has done it again. They've made a fucking mess.
So, what else we got on that before I get to? Because I'm actually going to talk about Yusha Yamansu. Aoashi, first episode.
Aoashi, good sports anime. It is a football series, football/soccer, for those who don't use the term. It is about a young boy who is a very aggressive football player. Well, not like the physical sense, but he's a very vibrant, proud football player. He is doing his best. He is scouted by a dude, and they bring him to a club team in Tokyo. This kid is from a super poor family. He's initially defined by the fact that his shoes are completely, wrecked. He's a very interesting character. I can't really spoil where this is going, but this twists the football genre quite heavily on its head because of the typical protags of these series. Definitely worth giving a watch. It's really good so far, and it will continue to get better. I've read the manga, and I'm hoping that they keep up the quality. And the other sports one that I've been following is Dance Danseur.
Dance anime.
Dance anime. It's also sort of ish a sports anime. Very good. Lots of cool themes going on. Discussions of masculinity, what makes a man, what makes a woman. Definitely worth checking out, and because the animation is really cool, especially for the dancing. The art style isn't for everyone. I put it on for my girlfriend and she was really frustrated with the eyes. So to keep that in mind, I would recommend watching it. It's probably a bit gay for most people, but keep in mind the protagonist is a heterosexual man despite everything going on in the series.
Also, can we talk about the fact that it's literally just anime Billy Elliot, essentially?
Yeah, it's quite literally just anime Billy Elliot. So if you liked Billy Elliot...
It's done by Studio Mappa, though, so the quality.
And Mappa's doing a fucking good job of it. Finally, for my list of my quick rundown list is Heroine Taramano, which is the new Honeyworks anime. It's pretty good so far. The animation is a bit rough around the edges at times. However, they did some absolutely crazy rotocropping in the latest episode. Very, very good. Very, very cute. I'm really enjoying where the show is at. It's a mixture of sports and music.
It's also gay.
Oh, yeah.
So aggressively gay.
Yeah, I mean, Lippick's Slipper there, so things always get gay when those two dudes show up. It's good to see if you've ever engaged with any other Honeyworks material. It's really good to see some of the old characters back in form. There's not really a whole lot else to be said about it because this is a cute sort of standalone story. There's a little bit of meat on the bones. It's just it's just a cute story. I'd say watch it. It's a show that definitely benefits from having engaged with previous material, though. And that's my roundup.
The other show that I haven't watched Dance Dance here or Aoashi yet, but I'm going to be watching Aoashi because football for life, boys. The other part is, of course, one show that I've watched that Ibi here hasn't Daimon, about the sweet shop.
Mm.
Really, really good. It's a slice of life show. Basically, the father who is the big owner of a sweet shop in Kyoto, and I love anime centered around Kyoto because traditional Kyoto is just incredibly aesthetic. Runs a sweet shop, traditional Japanese sweet shop, and the big patriarch of the family gets hospitalized. The son is, going, all right, I guess it's time for me to come home and learn the family trade. But dad's like, bro, you moved off to college or whatever, and you haven't been here for fucking years. You don't know anything about running a sweet shop. What you're going to do is take over my job as dad, and you're going to look after your adopted little sister, Itsuka Yukihara. And she's the successor. She's the one who's actually going to run the sweet shop because she's been training as an apprentice. And it's a really, really adorable, wholesome little show. Would you binge it? No, but you don't binge slice of life. You mellow. It's like a good glass of whiskey at the end of the day. Like, you mellow over a slice of life. You know what I mean? You just vibe, right? And I love it. Gonna be great. Probably gonna have some drama later on, but these sorts of shows always do. Also,
that's how it goes.
Also, Overlord, but he's a good guy.
It's Skeleton.
Skeleton Knight. I haven't watched it. I'm going to. Looks a lot of fun, but I want to give this one a brief shout out because Pelek, the heavy metal artist here on YouTube, finally achieved his dream and did the opening, and it bangs. Just power metal anime openings should be a thing, right? They should just be a thing. Also, there's more Gundam this season, because of course there is.
There's always Gundam.
Other than that, let's get back to the final show we're going to talk about. The one that, if you dropped the one that I kept going, I'm
Yamimas.
I'm quitting heroing. You know what? It is a wholesome as fuck show, right? It is probably, if it wasn't for your boy Kongming, it would be the most wholesome show of the season, which is weird, I know, considering Spy X Family exists. But Spy X Family has got so much going on, which is actually why it's really good. But if you're looking just for wholesome, I'm Quitting Heroing is just fantastic. It's a slice of life comedy. It's your bog standard fantasy world. It's not an isekai, amazingly, though. Although it's hinted at that it might be.
I've mentioned this term before on the podcast, and I'd like to use it again here. This show definitely fits into a slice of series that I've termed pseudo isekai. That is fantasy stories that feel like isekai but technically aren't, but they feel like they are, right? Like there was the prince who wanted to sell the kingdom one. I can't remember the actual title.
It's a guide to lifting a nation out of debt. Have you tried treason?
Yes, that's the one. So that series is a classic example of a series that I would term pseudo isekai. That is a series that like definitely has like elements that are always in like isekai, like demon lords or like civil wars, blah blah blah. This person's like a baron or whatever, or like a king or a prince or something. So on and so forth. And it definitely feels like this series should be an isekai, but it's not, right? The animation's bare bones. But it's pretty funny. Like, I dropped it because I just couldn't be like bothered watching this week by week.
Yeah, like you'd binge it if it was complete, but
I'd sit and just watch it like idly and use no brain power.
I think what's really great about this is it's the same story as you see, but the big plot is I'm Quitting Heroing is the big hero of like the isekai hero actually defeats the demon lord, right? In the opening frame. It's kind of like Endro. He defeats the demon lord in the opening scene, right? The thing is, after he defeats the demon lord, it's actually a very good commentary on a phenomena I touched on in several of my videos when I've talked about veterans issues, is that when you create a hero for an isekai, it's very similar to, for obvious reasons, creating a soldier. And essentially what you're doing is programming this person to be a trained killer and a trained, technician in how to do things. Like, you're programming this person to act a certain way. but because he's been programmed to be that way, he no longer fits into the society he's supposed to be protecting. So now that the Demon Lord is defeated, society looks at him not with heroism and admiration. He was expecting to come back and be treated as a hero so he can retire and, just patrol the streets as a cop or something. No, he's exiled because he's scary. He's dangerous. He could kill all of them at any time. So he's been exiled. And so, out of spite, he goes to join the demon army, which he just spent all his time destroying. But it's revealed, of course, at the end of the first episode that that's not really the reason why he's come to have a look. Throughout his campaign fighting the Demon Lord, he realized that the Demon Lord actually wasn't acting like one. There weren't any R words or murders or anything like that. Yeah, people were killed, obviously, because collateral damage happens and there's always crossfires and, soldiers and battles cause death. That's what they're there for. But the Demon Lord, or Demon Lady in this case, Echidna, took extra special care not to loot, not to raid, not to inflict civilian casualties.
Nice little Greek mythology reference there.
Yeah, always treated the people in her occupied territories with respect and listened to their concerns. And if it wasn't for the fact that her army was full of orcs and goblins, etc., had she been another invading force of humans, she would be treated as just another feudal lord, I guess. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she was actually really good. Like, had she not been the Demon Lady or the Demon Lord and instead just been another kingdom, unless you take if we're looking under the feudal microscope here, the people would most have likely just defected because it's better under Echidna, right? So the hero is confused by this and goes to meet the demons, and turns out they're actually all decent people, and he's wondering what he was fighting for. And it's in a weird way, it's disguised behind a whole lot of pseudo isekai fantasy ecchi comedy, right? It's hidden behind all that. And the waifu game in this show is strong. Like, the waifu, all the waifu boxes are ticked, including the I know it's a slightly risque controversial term, but they've got everything, including the trap card for people who are into that sort of thing. So if you're into that, you got that too, right? Everyone's covered in this anime. So honestly, it's a plot point, so I can't talk about it. But ultimately, it's the hero finding out that the demons aren't actually bad guys at all, and it's mainly a message about how there are two sides to every story. And sometimes it pays to listen before you go flying off the handle. This show is actually really sweet. It's really wholesome as fuck. And I wasn't expecting anything good from it, honestly. I was expecting it to be meh. I was expecting it to be less interesting Konosuba.
Yeah,
right?
Like I will stand by it. I think that first episode was really fucking funny. I just didn't because I did read the manga a bit because I was just wanting to sort of feel out where the series was going to go. Same thing I did for Mobaseka, and I liked the first episode. I thought it was a really funny setup, right? There's just the little bits after that didn't get me. I might jump back on once it hits episode 6 and see what's going on.
Well, you better go jumping on it because I think it's episode 6 this week.
Let me check.
I think it is episode 6 this week, actually.
Wait, something else just dropped. Oh, episode 6 of Birdie Wing dropped.
That's my job when I wake up tomorrow. When I wake up tomorrow morning, I'm gonna.
Dear audience, it is currently just about to hit 4 a.m. my time, 3:30 a.m. PAX time. We are getting quite late into the evening with this nice little review.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here, I think.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna have a last sort of cruise with this last bit here. How are we feeling in general about this season?
You know what? This is I'm gonna go back through the seasons just to make a comparison like I did at the start of the video, right? If I look at seasonal anime, there's always looking at autumn or fall or fall 2021.
Oh,
Like-
mocking the American accent. Tisk tisk.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna do that, right? Like, if you think about autumn, right, or fall of 2021, you had Komi-san can't communicate. You had Mushoku Tensei, right? I didn't watch Mushoku Tensei because I didn't vibe. Seemed a bit creepy to me. Still felt a bit creepy. There was a really good show that everyone's didn't shut up about it. Again, done by Studio Wit, Ranking of Kings. Apparently, Ranking of Kings is a banger, and I need to watch it. But again,
Banger.
so many anime say all the time. But like that season, like fall of 2021 was pretty good, right? Yeah, Miyaruko-chan, which I couldn't watch because that freaked the shit out of me. That show was
That hit you right on the creepy bone, which is ironic because we've watched other horror series and you've had no problem, but it's that one in particular just hit
I
you
don't
all,
know. I don't know why, but that show in particular just creeped the fuck out of me. I couldn't do it. Like I've watched much scarier shit and been fine, but that was a level of man. When the Japanese do existential horror, like the guy who does like that really crazy body horror art, like Shiki.
Are you talking about fucking oh god, what's his name? Junji Ito?
Junji Ito, that's the man.
Sorry, for a second I was like Shiki, like the horror anime, but then I realized that you were talking about Junji.
Yeah, so you had Blue Period, right? Which I didn't watch, but you were pretty hyped about it. I don't know if the anime lived up to it.
God, please don't remind me of Blue Period. No, look, Blue Period's manga is great. The anime was just a bit of a middling meh.
Yeah, it should. Given that it's a show about art, you would have expected so much better, right?
Yeah, I think it's a really great example of how, like, it's not necessarily the money behind a project that makes it work, it's the team. And there was so much more that could have been done with Blue Period, and it just wasn't all the way there, you know?
Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm looking through this season, right? And then you've got Purare Pride of Orange, which is like an ice hockey anime, and I thought it was going to be great. But it's, you know, an idol show masquerading as hockey. Wasn't that great, right? And you've got all these other shows that came out at the same time. The only standout that I can see from fall 2021 or autumn 2021 was a show that I absolutely adored for obvious reasons, which is Irina the Vampire Cosmonaut.
Oh yeah, and we recommended that when that was airing as well.
Do yourself a favor and go and watch Irina the Vampire Cosmonaut. Also 86. If you guys haven't been watching 86, go watch 86, right? Like 86 is fantastic.
Man, fall 2020 though. Fall 2020 had Jujutsu Kaisen, Golden Kamuy Haikyuu, and Moriarty, which was a really good combo. But yeah, there was a lot. I think the thing we can say best about this season isn't so much that there's like a bunch of standouts, right? It's not about the standouts, it's about the broad field.
Yeah, like
as a field, even the like 7s and the 8s and the like 6s, it's a lot healthier than other seasons where it drops off really quickly, right? Like you'll have like 1 or 2 9s, then a couple of 8s, then a bunch of 7s. And then like a handful of 7s and then a ton of 6s and 5s, right?
Like that's the thing. I'm looking
Which, by the way, that's infuriating. I'm sorry, there's a whole like 1 to 10 chart and you just use 5 numbers on it. Look, come on, guys.
Because here's the thing, right? You've got Kobayashi Dragon Maid. You've got
you had Shimamura. Adachi Shimamura was that season. You liked that one a lot, didn't you?
Like it was.
You started off pretty hyped on Adachi.
I was hyped on it, but it was Yuri bait. Like
ha 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 ha, and that's why you should have done Urusekai Picnic instead. Although I don't know if you would have been able to handle that one with the horror. Oh, they kind of mutilated that, but good series. Good series.
Other Side Picnic
also,
is good.
No Yuri bait. It's not Yuri bait either. So haha.
I like Other Side Picnic actually. Slime. Yeah, And I'm like, but what I'm sort of getting at by going back and comparing these seasons is, apart from your big ones like Jujutsu Kaisen, Tokyo Revengers, My Hero Academia, don't toy with me, Nagatoro. Actually, I will say that spring 2021, man, spring seems to be the season for the seasons, because looking at spring of 2021, some of my favorite shows of last year came out, like Moriarty the Patriot, Zombieland Saga Revenge, My Hero Academia,
Fruits
86.
Basket, To Your Eternity.
Also, can we just talk about a show that didn't get enough appreciation that season? Vivi. Vivi Fluorite Eyes Song is incredible. You should watch Vivi.
Man, that was a fucking stacked season. Holy shit.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Tokyo Revengers, 86, like
this spring too. Like this spring again. Spring seems to be the big season.
Okay, look, there's definitely like weightings on seasons, right? Like winter is always a slump. Like, I remember when I was, like, really getting into anime at first, like, the whole idea of, like, seasonals and stuff. And I remember being told by one of my fucking weebery senpais back in my Scanlation group days. I mean, I'm still in Scanlation groups, but, like, you know, back in the day, back in that was, like, 2015, 2016, always that whenever winter rolls around, get ready for disappointment, because there's going to be a lot of shit that sucks. Like, there'll always be the, like, couple of, like, heavy hitters. And there always is. But, like, if you look back at, like, winter 2015, there was some, like, it dropped off hard. Like, there was just a lot of stuff that was just very middling. That was also when Tokyo Ghoul Route A came out, and that was just bad.
Oh, look. Here is the thing. All right? Just to sum up for this season.
We're way off topic. Yeah.
We're way off topic. We're going to sum up this season, right? This season, like, the two shows that you must absolutely watch are Summertime Rendering and your Boy Kongming.
Yep.
Okay?
Secondaries, Spy X Family,
and Kaguya, if you're already...
Love After World Domination? Are we willing to say that one, yeah?
I'm saying Love After World Domination. Yeah. And look, I'm going to throw in Birdie Wing for the fun of it. But actually, I'm also, even though I haven't seen the first episode, I trust Ivy on this. I'm going to say Aoashi as well.
I'm going to say, yeah, definitely Aoashi is definitely, like, one of my picks. I'd be with you on Summertime and Parapi Kome. And I will say, Dance Dancer, like, look, Mappa, man, like, their choreography is just, and it's literally choreography. It's literally choreography in this case. And I love the MC. I love the world that he lives in. I love the dynamics between the characters. So it's got to be Dance Dancer, man. And all I'm saying is, Mappa, listen to me. Do one dance, please.
Yeah, that would be actually pretty good. Also, if you're in for it, I'm Quitting Heroing's okay.
Yeah,
but I'm going to be honest with you.
It's there. It's fun.
I'm going to be honest with you. Spring is the series of surprise bangers, right? This has been the series which has absolutely slapped and introduced a whole bunch of new shows, as spring should. But
and
summer,
when summer rolls around, we're gonna have a lot to talk about, because there's shows we've been watching and waiting for in that season.
Summer.
Pac finally gets his desire to get Mao Summer Season 2, and I really hope hope it gets an anime original ending, because the manga, the light novel ending was terrible. There's Isekai Oji-san is my pick for that season. Does look like it's going to be a thinner-ish season in terms of, like,
it's
quality.
It's going to be thinner,
but Made in Abyss Season 2, that's one to watch for.
Also, we're forgetting
Overlord 4.
Overlord 4.
Yeah, Overlord 4. I'm just thinking, what else have we got here? I'm a bit disappointed about, I saw the preview for it, it doesn't look particularly great. Sorry, Demo is coming out. That one's about shogi. The manga's pretty good for that, but I'm gonna say it's gonna get slapped with the same treatment that, our series Shikimori did. Yofukashi no Uta. I have a bone to pick with the fucking development team on this. Leiden Films, I'm not sure what the fuck you're doing, but the manga takes place at night. Why is everything purple? Why is everything purple? It's about vampires and nighttime. Why is the entire show so bright?
Oh, but you're forgetting it. There are 2 shows next season. 2 shows which will absolutely blow everything we've talked about away.
The new season of the Prince of Tennis.
No, well, there's Rent a Girlfriend season 2, which is going to cause fires throughout the world.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! We're about to get fucking heated, ladies and gents.
Ayashi is great. I'm looking hyped for that. But next season, Shoot Gold to the Future is next season.
Oh damn! I was excited for a second because I thought that Blue Lock. Now, Blue Lock is one to watch, folks. Like it won't be summer, but I think it's either going to be fall or maybe after with that. It hasn't been announced yet. That Blue Lock is going to be one to watch for.
We're getting fall is kind of banging because not only do you have Can Cole season 2 after all these years.
Yeah, wow, that's weird.
And you also get Spy X Family, and you also get season 4 of Golden.
Season 4 of Golden Kamuy, the new season of Bleach, the new season of My Hero Academia, the new season, second season of To Your Eternity. Oh my god, this is the season of sequels. The season of sequels. Yeah, Marimashita Irama-kun is also on the list, which is something.
Next season is what I'm most excited for, because next season is, of course, Devil is a Part-Timer and Overlord 4. But above all...
Uzumaki is in fall 2022 as well.
But above all...
Get ready to get scared.
I'm gonna send this DM to Ivy right quick, and you're gonna hear him cringe. You ready?
Okay, I'm watching. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Anime of the season.
Damn it.
Anime of the season next year. Ladies and gentlemen, from Studio Shaft, which is incredible that such a good series is being picked up by such a good studio. Ladies and gentlemen, Strike Witches is getting an idol anime. Luminous Witches drops next season. And I'm excited. As a Strike Witches fan, I am excited, and you should be too. All of our famous and favorite swing singers, like, Vera Lynn and Marlena Dietrich, they're already women, but what if they were cute anime women in the Air Force? I wonder. What if all of these already classy, wonderful female swing singers, what if they were all now cute waifus in the Air Force fighting aliens? Ladies and gentlemen, Luminous Witches is coming, and I could not be more hyped. Anyway, that's...
Yeah. We have really fucked around here.
Tangent. Like, long story short, watch Summertime Rendering, watch your boy Kongming.
Yeah, and everything else is negotiable. Everything else is negotiable, I'd say.
Because, don't lie to us, you're already
watching Spy X Family. Chances are you're probably actually already watching your boy Kongming, given how, crazy that's getting with the hype train, thanks to the entire collaboration of AniTube. I just want to say, but I was there first.
Long live your boy Kongming.
Long live my ability to get on this shit before anyone else. Actually, much to my absolute infuriation, your boy Kongming has overtaken Summertime Rendering on Mal in score.
Which,
look,
I'm kind of torn on, because on the one hand, I enjoy Kongming more than any other show this season, but on the other hand, the sheer quality of Summertime Rendering... Summertime Rendering is like... I'm going to call Summertime Rendering like the Zankyo no Terror effect, or the, Cowboy Bebop or Samurai Champloo effect, where it's like, this anime is being slept on, but I think if enough people watch it, Summertime Rendering, when it's complete, will be considered a classic.
Oh yeah, look, I've read the whole series, and I can safely say that apart from some of the weird stuff at the end, this series is crazy. It is so much fun. It is so interesting. The depths it goes to are crazy. I have to recommend reading the manga once this is Look, the manga comes with the official version of the manga comes with extended materials that are so interesting to add into your stockpile of knowledge for the show.
Yeah, look, that's the thing about summertime rendering. What I was trying to get at is it the best show in terms of entertainment? No, I wouldn't say that. Is it the best show in terms of will everybody like it? No, definitely not. But what I will say about summertime rendering is it's kind of like the show that you have to approach it. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna borrow a saying from the horrible world of 3D, just to get my point across. Summertime rendering isn't a movie. Summertime rendering is a film. If that makes sense, right?
Yeah, I think that's actually a really interesting...
Transformers is a movie. Citizen Kane is a film. If you get what I mean.
Yeah, and that's...
Summertime rendering is a film, not a movie.
A lot of what we watch in anime is basically just glorified promotion for a series. This feels like someone is actually trying to take a script and illuminate it, right? They're looking at a completed work and they're like, how can I make this as good as possible? And because it's already finished, we don't have to worry about them fucking up and being like, we're ending it early. I'm really hoping season 1 does really well, because I would love this to get the complete... all it needs is two core seasons, and then it's done. That's it. The way it's adapting, and seriously, I can't say this enough. Please give this a shot. Shout it out on social media. Nag people about it. It doesn't matter what you do. You need to make sure this series gets the attention it deserves, because fuck Disney. Fucking great work, fan subbers. You guys fucking rule. Thank God for you guys actually pulling the fucking, shit together, because fucking hell, man. This series is killer.
Yeah, man.
Alright, I think we've dragged this out enough. So, we've rounded it up. Any last thoughts?
Yes. The only comment I have to sum up is looking at the mail tables for this season and everything like that. Weebs were a mistake.
Yeah, gotta say, recency bias. I've been talking about it for a long time. I'm glad to see that other people are using the term now. But yeah, recency bias, man. It's fucking nuts.
Look, I love Kaguya.
It's not an 8.99. It's not an 8.99.
Okay. It's not an 8.99 right now. But if we get... Spoiler. If we get the confession at the festival this season, which it looks like we will, it's probably going to be the finale this season. We're going to get the moment that we've all been waiting for. Or they're going to do the Attack on Titan thing and they're going to tease us with it, and then there's going to be a movie. Right? Either way, once that moment hits, it will be a 9. If we get the confession this season, it will be a 9. But it's not 8.99 right now. It's hilarious, it's enjoyable, but unless we get the confession this season, it's not 8.99. Your boy Kongming should be higher. 8.4 is not enough. Gotta pump those numbers up. There's only 114,000 members in your boy Kongming. Are you kidding, boys? Weebs, where you at? There's
also,
over half...
oh my god, the numbers between summertime rendering and let's look at this, okay? So 623,000 people are watching Spy X Family, 444,000 are watching Kaguya-sama, 23,000 are watching Kingdom, 115,000 are watching or have it on the list as Kome, and 139,000 for summertime rendering. I'm sorry, those numbers are way too low.
Nah, man, we gotta all I'm gonna say is, what is going on? I'm looking at airing anime. Why is Milgram's on here? Lol.
Dude, we're coming up. Oh my god, in a few months, Trial 2 starts. I'm so excited. After the end of Trial 1,
Yeah. Anyway, we're not going to go into.
We're not going to. It's not the time for this. It is almost. We're pushing it. We're pushing it. I'm going to say to round up for my side of things. Give stories a chance, because not everything is going to be like, and also like this is the most important thing, is that like Summertime Render literally kicks off in the first episode, but some things need time to grow, right? Like not everything is going to kick off in one episode. I wish that we weren't trying to push series to be like, you got one episode, and if they don't, it's not gonna be good. And I'm not a particular fan of that approach.
That being said though, fucking Summertime Rendering only needs one.
Oh yeah. If it's gonna hook you, it'll hook you in that first episode. And let's be real, I haven't seen anyone who's watched the first episode yet who hasn't been like, holy shit, I need more.
We damn near gave Liz and your girlfriend a stroke.
Yeah, no, my girlfriend threw a fit because she was like, what do you mean there's not more episodes to watch? You mean I can't just binge this whole show? And I was like, yeah, sorry. Okay, let's do the quick roundup. You can find us on anywhere you can find podcasts. That means Spotify, Podcast Addict, etc. Still working on Pandora. I know a few people have asked for it. That process is quite long, but I'm doing my best. I'll let you guys know as soon as possible if that comes through. We will link in the description the various places you can find us, and that's about it. I think we've done a good job.
I think we've done a pretty good job rounding them up. Although actually, now that I mention it, I think we really should like include every anime we do. I think you should make it a job to have Mrs. Ivy be the litmus test. Because Mrs. Ivy does a really good job.
Yeah. With a girlfriend who was a former weeb who dropped off for years because of the proliferation of harem series, she's a good indicator, and she's now watching more anime than she's ever watched. And I would like to thank Spy X Family and Summertime Render for allowing me to talk about weebery with my girlfriend for the first time in a very long time. So thank you, anime.
Anyway, with that, thank you, anime.
Good morning and good night.
Good morning and good night, because it's 0400.
It's 4:20 a.m. We need to end it right now.
4:20 a.m. Nice.
Know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. There'll be time